Now, this is an interesting piece because they begin by stressing the interdisciplinary nature of their work. I think in the context of early work incorporating spatial analysis into economic models that we're reading about right now, the interdisciplinary nature of this work makes sense, especially when, you're first starting out and trying to develop these ideas. Because the neoclassical abstraction away from considering geographic space in economic models, the early work that did include space were inspired by other fields of thought. And we often see this with advancements or incorporating new ideas into a field, you have to look outside of the field. Um, so communities often involve spatial connection and communication connection. So in this chapter that we read, they give a few examples of church-based groups and chamber of commerce groups. This isn't just related to space. They do involve space, that they're in the same community, but there's also this connection that people talk together, they work together, they share some common thread that brings them together. So it's more than just space that's uniting these people. I think this is worth including because of the focus on the connections between the people involved in defining a community. We don't have to limit ourselves to thinking of communities as simply administrative districts defined by government. Of course, it makes sense to think about cities and municipalities, to think of counties, states, going down to census blocks and voting districts, all those sorts of divisions that the government creates to break down areas into smaller and smaller groups. But we shouldn't ignore how people or how groups of people interact with each other. This also has they include a star of community economic development model that has 6 different interconnected elements. So there's resources. This includes things like amenities, innovation, public goods, markets, institution and rules, society and culture, decision making, and finally space. So all of these are related to communities that kind of connect and bind people together. It's more than just space. There's 5 things besides space. They distinguish economic growth, so more output, from economic development, which is, they see it as a little bit wider, so improving capacity, resilience, public participation. Their third wave of economic development emphasizes collaboration and innovation and even inclusion over things like competition and smokestack chasing, or McCluskey might say piling brick on brick, just accumulating capital. Um, so they pull together the idea of space with community, showing how regions are shaped not just by location advantages, but there's things like social and institutional capacity that binds these communities together and helps make some more successful than others. Again, you can read this, you can see this is definitely interdisciplinary work where they're reaching outside of the traditional field of economics. This is something I'm a little bit less comfortable with. I'm an economist, so that's my bread and butter. That's what I like. But you can see that they're pulling in ideas from other fields in order to sort of build regional economics.